It's 3:07. It's 3:07 and we have a quorum. So I would like to call the meeting to order. And I'm first going to take the roll. So please say yay if you are here. Diane. Yay. Rocky's not here. Kelsey.
Yay.
Robert.
Yay.
Aaron is not here. Arlene is not here. Lisa.
Yay.
Linda is not here and I am here. Thank you, everybody. The next thing we need to do is approve the agenda. So you should have received this in advance from Laura. Do I have to do person by person to approve the agenda, or can I just say all those in favor say yes?
All those in favor, and as long as it's unanimous, you should be okay. If there's
Okay.
a nay, which there won't be, you have to go roll call.
Okay. If you are in favor of the approving the agenda, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Is there anyone opposed?
Yes.
The person who is opposed to the agenda. Who is that?
That was definitely a glitch. That was Lisa, but.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
yes,
That was a
sorry.
glitch.
We're gonna go ahead with the agenda. The first item on the agenda is a presentation by Best of Care Consulting and Care Management. Erin is a member of this organization, and unfortunately, she's not able to be here today. Her daughter, who I think is 6 years old, is sick, so she had to opt out. She'll do it at a later date. So I think this is going to be a very short meeting. Probably that'll make everybody happy. Next thing on the agenda is an update on the Senior Expo, and I will start with that. Diane is on the committee. You can jump in and add anything, Diane. And also Laura is a member of the committee and advising us on this. So I'm just going to give you a brief update. Planning is underway for the Senior Expo. Live Your Best Life. And it's going to be October 18, a Saturday at the high school, starting at 10 a.m., ending at 1 p.m. To date, I'm really happy to say, Laura has gotten 30 vendors, and as of today, 6 speakers. So we've got a full 3 hours for sure, and we're still planning other things and fun things which we haven't nailed down yet. But I think we've got the bulk of it, because vendors and speakers are what make the whole event, because it's a chance for seniors and their caregivers and their families to interact with people who provide services. So that's it in a nutshell so far. Our committee is meeting every Tuesday so far. And Arlene took the mantle of publicity this week. So by next week, we should begin to see the beginnings of publicizing the event. So want to add anything, Diane?
No, that's probably it in a nutshell, right?
Yeah, Laura, do you want to add anything? I should mention 2 things. I'm co-chairing this event this year with Brenda Johnson, who is the president of Rotary. And Rotary has decided to be also a sponsor. So we have 3 sponsors of the event this year. Us, the Council on Aging, Nantucket Center for Elder Affairs, and now the Rotary as well. And the Rotary will be providing volunteers and also some financial support. So that's great. And I'm delighted to be co-chairing with Brenda, who knows everything and everybody and has so much energy. So it's has lots of ideas. So it's great.
I have a question for Laura. Laura, are you there?
Yep.
Did word reach you that NHA is going to be at that event?
At the expo?
At the expo. I talked to Brenda, and I've been talking to Brenda back and forth. And yes, NHA would like to be there
Or with a table?
with the table.
Okay,
And we're going to have a raffle and some flyers and things.
okay, great. I will add you on.
And I'll be manning the table.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions or comments about the expo? Okay, everybody,
Diane, if you remember, this came right out of the Rotary meeting.
That's what I thought, okay.
yeah, she's wearing two hats on this event. The next thing on the agenda is our report on human services from the famous Jericho Mealy.
The famous. Not a ton to announce, just right now, summer wind down means it's time for us to do respiratory disease season. We're currently getting the plans together for a flu clinic that we should be able to announce dates for in the next weeks. We should have a vaccine clinic before the end of September or very early October. Vaccine supplies limited. As of right now, the only respiratory vaccine I can order is flu. I have no information on COVID. I do not know what the COVID vaccination situation is going to look like this fall. I have no indications that the federal government or the state has determined which strains that are going to be vaccinated against, and I have no way to purchase either direct or otherwise COVID vaccine. Flu vaccine, we are likely to have at least one large clinic, and then we're going to see what manpower and support is to do additional satellite vaccinations in the fall. But for right now, we're trying for one large clinic, and then we're going to see what the situation's like.
Did you say late September for flu vaccine?
Hopefully, our first big
Late
clinic's going to be late
okay.
September. We have to solidify the dates with the hospital and with some other providers. But we're just now getting to a proper ordering thing. Kelsey, if you've heard anything about COVID, please send me an email outside of this. And I should have all of our plans lined up properly for you by end of this week, beginning of next week, so we can coordinate it.
I have a question.
Yes.
I've just heard from Brenda that the hospital is having their health fair October 4. So I'm just wondering how that dovetails with what we're doing 2 weeks later. And all of the options.
For
The flu,
vaccine?
yeah, for
Well,
vaccine.
I think I think when it comes down to it, there's going to be fewer but larger vaccination opportunities this year. One of the things we're gonna sort out, that one of the reasons why I'm not announcing my exact date, for our clinic is A, to confirm we have supply, and B, to set it up so that it's in alignment with what the hospital's doing. In the past, we haven't communicated super well on that. This year, we're hopefully gonna be able to time our vaccines and communicate so that you have your, oh, I didn't make it to this one, here's your next opportunity. Oop, I didn't make it to that one, here's your final opportunity. But compared to previous years, we had state teams that were capable of coming down. We had additional funding from a couple of different grant sources that have expired. And we had a like rural health collective that is still like pivoting as their funding has ended too. So it has the potential to be a little more constrained than in previous years largely because of the federal government.
Okay.
Next update after that for human services is that we're about to start grant season. The contract review committee grants, which are under the Council of Human Services, are going to be releasing an RFP. This is going to be a grant application for next fiscal year. So you would apply, you would go through a grant process over the course of this fall, and then you would have the money available for use in fiscal year 27, which will start July 1st, 2026, next summer. The application should be out to any 501c based on Nantucket or delivering services on Nantucket. We should have a application for that at the beginning of October. We're going to be collecting it there beginning of November. So if you have any nonprofits that do human services work, substance misuse work, then have them either email the human services department of the town to get on a notification list, or to reach out to me just so that I can add them to an email list if they're doing human services work. And I think that's basically it for my big ticket items.
I have a question. Is that money does that money come out of the town coffers? It does, okay.
That is town collected money. The grant process runs until December and then it is finally approved at annual town meeting each year, which is one of the reasons for the weird cycle for it. But it is 100% locally collected tax monies. We're trying for a variety of process changes this year that we're hopefully going to use to show that we've got a more efficient grant cycle. And then we're going to ask for additional funding to sort of stabilize grants and nonprofits on Nantucket, especially as things get a little more chaotic.
And what's the size of the pot of money?
We're confirmed there's $650,000 that's going to be distributed for human services, which is basically Elder Services gets money each year, Fairwinds gets money each year, Health Imperatives, A Safe Place, Small Friends has come for money to us. Elder Services gets its Meals on Wheels funded through us. We've had a lot of interesting grant requests in wellness. We've done some youth support. That 650,000 is for all human services, except for substance misuse grant funding, which comes from a special collection of cannabis money. And that cannabis, the recreational cannabis tax goes into a dedicated substance misuse fund, which will be 175,000 this year. So we'll have 650 for human services and 175 specifically for substance misuse.
Does anybody have questions for Jericho or comments?
And as always, if you have a weird question about the town or you're wondering why the town's doing something or what's this all about, you can email me and I will try to get an answer for you. I can't guarantee anything, but I know we have a lot of ambiguity and so on in our in town government. And if there's something that's going on that you're confused about, please feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Jericho. That was great.
Thank you.
Laura, you're next for a report, and I know that you have sent out in advance the activities of the past month at Salt Marsh. So I don't know if you want to add anything to that or just take questions or
I don't
comments.
have anything to add at this point. And I will
So-
take questions.
Pardon?
I will take questions.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Laura and what's going on at the Salt Marsh? It's a very busy place. As a person who takes full advantage of it, I can say it's a very busy place. And everybody seems very happy there. No big fights that I have observed, so that's good. Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
Next on the agenda is Robert with an update on what the NHA is up to.
There, I think I'm unmuted now. I can tell you there was a board meeting last week of Elder Services. And our ombudsman, who is in Washington, said things are again just changing so rapidly. We're going to have to just kind of flow through it because every day is a brand new day and this changes and that changes and there's no assurance and it's just chaos, just absolute chaos. So that was his message as far as to the Elder Services Board. Contracts.
I had put you down for the NHA, but you're talking, just to clarify, you're talking about Elder Services of Cape Cod and the
Right,
Islands.
usually you asked for a report on Elder Services.
But you're serving on their board, correct? Okay.
Also, the contracts have been made for Meals on Wheels. I don't know if you have been notified, Mary Ann?
No,
Okay, the contract went to Kitties.
kitties. Yeah, and they have the current contract, so it's been
They have the
extended.
current contract and they're being renewed for 3 years.
Perfect. Oh, great.
Nice.
They're wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah, no. That's great news.
Yeah, I mean, if people don't know, Nantucket has the best Meals on Wheels program of all the Cape towns. So it really is a standout operation, and thanks to Kitties for great menu. I mean, the menu has decided some place on the moon. But Kitty's does such a great job of cooking it and presenting it. It's just first
I
class.
can tell you that the presentation that was made to the board just overwhelmingly was just wonderful as far as praising Kitties for all they have been doing.
Yeah, they're wonderful. We need to remember that and give them
I mean,
a shout out.
they have been consistently doing that for at least as long as I've been in this position.
Oh, yeah, they're
Never-
just,
Not one
stellar job.
complaint. Not a single complaint at any point during that process.
So that's pretty much the kind of a summary of what happened at last week's Elder Services. There is a representatives breakfast on the Cape, November 14th at 9 a.m. Mary Ann, you said you'd like to come with me.
yes, I would.
Jericho, you're invited. Or if any of the other board members would like to come, I will be going over and renting a car.
It's the legislative breakfast, so it's the organization meeting with elected officials from the state and the local area. And it's well worth all the time that you put into it. It's really, they do a great job. Every elected official makes a presentation, if there's plenty of time for interaction, and it's a good breakfast.
When is the date and where is it?
It's
Robert?
November 14th. I think that's a Friday. I don't have my calendar. Well, I can.
I can check. I got it, Robert, gone.
And it is in Hyannis.
November 14th is a Friday.
Yeah, it's in Hyannis and I've forgotten the place.
So you would rent a car and any of us who
I
wanted to
will be
go?
renting the car and going over on the 740 ferry. And then coming back after we do a little shopping.
Now you're selling it to the committee, to the council members.
No, Elder
I've
Services
been
very
around a number.
generously pays my transportation as a board member to go to those things.
Excellent.
Okay.
Well, I said that.
As for On the Road, which is the island program, we kick it off in October with Nantucket Preservation Trust. Rita Carr will be doing presentations at the 5 locations. And I believe it is a game again, where what they've done is to take some old pictures of buildings and they're going to compare them to new pictures. And it's kind of like, where was it and what was it? So I think it'll be very interesting for the seniors. The game we did last spring was widely accepted.
Hmm.
And then that's October. November is going to be a presentation based off a GAM that NHA did about Tuckernut and the history of Tuckernut and all that goes on there. And in the GAM, Susie Rogers talked about growing up on Tuckernut. I don't know if we can get a video and put it into the PowerPoint presentation for November. And then at the end of November and into Christmas, there will be private tours of the Festival of Wreaths and the Festivals of Trees for the 5 locations on the island. We did it last year and it was a huge success.
I'd like to mention, as far as GAMs go, NCTV is very interested in filming things like that. So you might want to
Well,
include.
We broadcast our GAMs on our own channel.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, and then On the Road, we leave next Monday for a round of visits. We'll be visiting on Monday at Eastham and Provincetown. On the 18th, we will be in, Brewster and Harwich. And then in October, there are 4 more visits to 6 more senior centers all over the Cape. We have now got requests from Mashpee to have us come, and Dennis wants to be included. And that brings us up to, I believe, 14 out of the 15 senior centers that are on the Cape.
Yeah, fantastic.
The next move is to start moving into the state, over the border for just a little bit until we get our feet wet. But we've already got requests from East Longmeadow, which is on the border between Connecticut and Massachusetts, asking if we can create the program in a Zoom type way. So we're looking into how to make Zoom very relatable, because part of the attraction of the programs has been the live presentation with the artifacts. Also, I have been talking to the executive director of the Massachusetts Council on Aging, and now the deputy director of the Massachusetts Council on Aging. They would like us to consider taking a table at their MCOA conference, which is on the Cape in October. They hold a yearly conference. And the way I talked to Maddie was we could get great exposure because we would have access to all the MCOAs in the state of Massachusetts.
Including our own Laura
Including
Stewart.
our own.
Well, I won't
Do you
be at
go
the
to it,
conference
Mary Ann?
this year.
What?
I won't be at the conference this year. I'll be in Thailand.
I know it. Too bad. But we haven't made a decision at NHA whether we're going to, it's kind of short notice for us to gear up and go to the conference.
It would be a great opportunity for you guys.
Yeah, well, I've got a meeting with Miranda Dale next week to go over all of this Elder Expo as well as the conference.
Great, great.
And let's see, probably we are introducing a new program this fall, which is about the demise of the economy of Nantucket, starting with the fire and all the other things. We think there's going to be well received on the Cape, and it'll be followed up with a spring program about the rise of tourism on Nantucket and how we got to be what we are. The most unique request I have gotten was last week. I was contacted by a German broadcaster who broadcasts a program on history subjects. He would like to talk to me about the tragedy of the Essex, and he has a listenership of 700,000 Germans around the world.
God.
And I don't have to know German because it would be in English. So it was quite a chuckle when that one came in, but we are, our communications people are making sure it's a bona fide station that we want to be represented on.
Wonderful.
So we're moving ahead rapidly.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And then, of course, I did speak to Rotary about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I didn't hear that.
I spoke to Rotary about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Great report. Okay, we've come to the end of our agenda. I only want to mention one other thing unless people have questions or comments, and that is that we've just gotten the go-ahead. Yesterday, I got it from the town that we should elect a new slate of officers now that we have new members. So please be thinking about this and be prepared. At our next meeting, we will be electing a new chair, vice chair, and secretary. So keep that in mind and come prepared to nominate people. So any questions or comments before we close the meeting? I'll take that as a no. Do I have to go down everybody's name
You
again?
do need to get a motion for adjournment, and then we should probably have a roll call to close the meeting out.
Okay, so would somebody please move to adjourn?
Robert will move it.
And a
Okay.
second?
And a second.
Okay.
Thank you. So when I call your name, if you approve of adjourning the meeting, please say yes. Diane? Yes. Kelsey? Kelsey?
Move to Lisa on that.
Sorry, I had to, all set, thanks.
Lisa?
Yes.
Robert,
Yes.
Mary Ann, yes. Thank you, everybody, for being here. See you again on the first Wednesday of October. And we will have officers election. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, see you all back on the island whenever I decide to go there.
Have a good one, everyone.